It's time to make some art, maybe cook something tight. Tell a spooky story if you wanna stick around. Let's make something cool while there's no work or school. This quarantine has got me in a rut, so let's just have fun. Yeah!
Hi creatures, welcome back. It's Mars, and I wanted to show you what I made last night. I decided, after getting really hungry and having no sweets in the house, that I was gonna just try and be as resourceful as possible and find a recipe I could make online with the stuff we had. And it's not a lot. Luckily, this recipe was easy. It only calls for 3 ingredients: butter, sugar, and flour. I had to split my recipe into halves because unfortunately at my boyfriend's house, we don't have a lot of resources. So I had two small containers that then I used to help me mix. As well as not having a mixer, I used a fork to cream together. I'll show you all of this in the video, but I just wanted to let you guys know that there are other options when, you can't go out and just get yourself a mixer.
So first off, especially during this corona pandemic, it is extremely important to wash your hands before cooking a meal, especially if you just came home from the grocery store. Here you can see I am making sure to get in between my fingers. And if that isn't clean enough, you're always welcome to just do the completely rational thing and take a shower. You can remember I'm using only half of the ingredients here, but I'm going to tell you the full amounts. That is going to be a half cup of sugar, and then you're going to use 2 sticks of butter. Here, I personally like to soften the butter with my hands. I keep the cover on, just use that hand heat to get it all soft. It works better than a microwave because then you don't get it all melting all over your microwave. Now, after you get your butter all soft and you add that to your sugar, you're going to want to cream those together. I didn't have a mixer at my boyfriend's house, as I repeated before, and so instead I used a fork to cream these together. This is something I learned from when I was a kid from making cookies over at a friend's house. Now, this is a little bit of some hard work. You're going to be wanting to get this very consistent because once you add the flour, it's better if you have a wetter or dough with the sugar and the butter. This is definitely the most my arms have gotten a workout in a little while. I actually had to stop multiple times the first time. It was exhausting. If you see me shaking out my hands, that's probably why. Now, once you get your mixture to a nice consistency or as smooth as you can get it, I used sugar in the raw, so it was a little crunchy there. You are going to add your 2 cups of flour. Of course, do not add all the flour at the same time. This will dry out your mixture pretty soon and make it a lot harder to get it all well combined. I, of course, used only half of the recipe, so I split my flour up into 4 parts. You can see that I made sure to mix it and get it all concise in between each time adding the flour to the batter until I was able to get a nice, pretty decent dough out of this mixture. So now that you're all done, you're gonna take that combined beautiful dough and you're gonna throw that in your pan. I used an 8x12, I'm pretty sure. The recipe does suggest a 9x9. That recipe will be linked in the description below, guys. So after you take that pretty dough, throw it in that pan, you're gonna spread it out nice and evenly. Mine was still pretty thick. And then you're gonna take that and you're gonna put it in the oven for 30 minutes. While that's cooking, because it was such a simple recipe, I decided to spice it up a little bit. I took some bananas and I decided to chop them up. As you can see here, I forgot to film actually cutting up the bananas. I was pretty frustrated with myself. Anywho, you're gonna chop those up and you're gonna throw those into a frying pan. Here we're gonna make some caramelized bananas just to put on top of those shortbread cookies. You're gonna take some sugar. Again, I use sugar in the raw. Here, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of lenient with sugar. It depends how you like your bananas. I use a lot so we get that more juicy, thick kind of texture. Now, mine weren't so much fried, and usually caramelized bananas are a little bit crispy-ish, but here they were just a nice, soft, sweet texture. And once our cookie was ready, we were just gonna throw that right on top. Now, here was the final test, actually eating the cookie, which I had never tried before, and let me tell you, I was definitely pleased with what was made. The next night, it was so good, I had to make another batch. As you can see here, I'm pouring those caramelized bananas right on top. This gave it both like a soft, but also kind of crispy mouth feel, if you want to say that. I really enjoyed it, but as I'd like to say, the true test is giving your cooking to the ones you love. The ultimate test. It's really warm and still a squishy cookie, but you know how I like my cookies squishy. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, yeah.
Got the boyfriend seal of approval.
I actually covered my shortbread cookie in jam this morning and just some raspberry jam. It's so buttery. My boyfriend says that they're great on their own, but I personally am a little overpowered by the butter, but that's a good shortbread cookie. That's how you know.
Now, my mom would kill me if I forgot this step. I've gotten in trouble more times than I can count by not cleaning up. So guys, wipe down those counters, clean off those utensils, and have a great rest of your day.
So, if you got to the end of this video,